So today I have the Bandai s.h.figuarts Star Wars First Order Stormtrooper. Here you go. This is another really nice Stormtrooper figure. I showed the original Star Wars figure, or the original Stormtrooper by Bandai. And this is from the new set of movies, or the new series of movies. Um, I don't want to get too much into it, but I will say that I absolutely despised the Disney trilogy. I only actually watched two of the three movies. When the first movie came out, um, I was pretty excited because it was getting really good reviews. They said Star Wars is back, um, because a lot of people were disappointed with the prequels. I think the prequels get hit a little too hard. Upon rewatching, yes, I see a lot of problems in there, but there was creativity. It did advance the whole mythology of Star Wars. So I thought there was a lot of good stuff in there. There were some definite casting issues, uh, but I think overall they can be enjoyed. They're certainly not the greatest, but I think that there are three reasons why I hated, particularly the first movie and the second movie too. But number one was expectations because the movie was getting such incredible buzz, high reviews, and I'd seen people talking about it to the point where some were saying it was the best Star Wars film ever. The second is that it was basically just a New Hope redone. The First Order, so this is a First Order trooper, but he's certainly recognizable as a stormtrooper. Even though the First Order was supposed to be not the Empire, despite the fact that they used the exact same ships, the same power structure, everything was the same. Even their plan was the same. Um, and I just was amazed at the complete lack of creativity. I do like the look. This is definitely different from the original Stormtroopers, but I like the changes they made. Mostly it's the helmet, um, but I thought they did a good job. Uh, the third the third reason that I really hated those movies, the new movies, is because I thought they were incredibly disrespectful to the original characters. And that's one of the things that I'm really amazed about is that so many Star Wars fans, and I enjoyed the Star Wars films, but I don't consider myself to be a super fan. Um, that they simply accepted it. The incredible disrespect to the original characters. I was actually sad to see the original actors and actresses appearing in there, and then, in my opinion, debasing the characters. So it pretty much the moment I started watching the movie, despite the fact I had such high hopes for it that I bought it at full price right when it came out. I didn't see it in theaters. Um, and the moment I started watching it, at the very first scene, I was like, "Oh my God, what is wrong here? This is not what I was hoping for." And it never got better through the whole movie. It just was just a mess. But but I like the figures. At least I like this figure. These are the only figures I collect right now for Star Wars are the Stormtroopers because I just like the way they look, and I think that they really lend themselves well to figures, to being created into figures. Uh, the the 1/12 scale, or I'm sorry, 1/6 scale Star Wars figures from Hot Toys, which I own none of. The facial sculpts look fantastic. Um, Bandai does a nice job on facial sculpts, but not not at all to the level of a 1/6 scale Hot Toys or some others. So um, that's why I'm not really that interested in kind of human characters. Like I like the Street Fighter characters because they're not really human. They are human, but they are not based on human actors and actresses. Now, the Star Wars figures, the stormtroopers are obviously, they all wear helmets, so that's not a problem. But just like with the other stormtrooper, I think that if you saw this figure uh, without context, you could be fooled into thinking this was an actual costume from the movie because the detailing looks that nice. You would never be fooled by a human actor made into figure form. All the articulation is really nice. I have absolutely no issues with it. The armor feels beautiful. Feels kind of like what I would imagine the costume, the actual costume might feel like. Nice solid plastic. There are um, other companies that make 1/6 scale. I'm sorry, 1/12 scale Star Wars figures. There's actually a lot of companies. Um, but Bandai, I think, is considered the premier, although their total volume of figures created um, pales in comparisons to some other companies. So if you want all the different characters, there's other companies to get out there. But if you want the highest quality, then I think that Bandai is probably the best to go with. So I'm not sure if Bandai is even creating Star Wars anymore. They might have given up the license because I haven't seen anything new in quite some time. Although they were doing Mandalorian, so I think I guess they are doing occasional. But definitely they're not focusing on Star Wars like some companies are. They just kind of come up here and there. But I do think that their quality is the highest, and they definitely are light years ahead of the original Star Wars figures from the 70s and 80s, which I have sold most of mine because they were just sitting in a box doing nothing. These are much more interesting to put on a shelf. And I think that any Star Wars fan, their eyes would immediately be drawn to these figures because they are very nice. So that's the First Order Stormtrooper.